Hi everyone, welcome to JTV Extra. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. I'm Sandra Younger. I am the inventor of a cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All. And on this show, everything is about stringing material, knotting, braiding, macrame, you name it. I put it all together and come up with some really cool projects for you guys, tips and tricks. If this is your first time here, you can ask questions down below, leave comments, and I will actually be in the feed today because this is a pre-recorded show. So I just want you guys to know that. So if you have any questions and you see my name, Sandra Younger, pop up in the feed, that's because I'm there and I will answer any and all questions that you have. Let's see. Oh, the wax cord that's on today's show, I will be using it in this for this necklace. So if you don't have wax cord, then check it out. It's one of my big favorites. But we're going to do the products, the customer show, and then we'll get to the project because I'm really dying to share these really cool tips with you. All right, let's see. Should I start with the Z beads, the bales, or the stringing material? You know what? I think I'm going to start with the wax cord because I will be using the black cord for today's project. And I like this cord because it's on the thicker side. It's waxed. It's 2-ply, which means it can be split. You can melt it because it's synthetic. So this cord is it's one of those things that you definitely want to have in your stringing materials like kit. And you get like both spools, and right now they're $29.99. So that is only like about $15 a spool. That is a good deal. And let's see, next we have the Indonesian inspired tube bale kit. Okay, here is a close-up. You get 200 pieces total. So these are, I'm telling you, these are always handy to have because you never know when you are going to need a bale. And sometimes I have a drawer here full of them because sometimes just out of the blue, that's going to be the piece that makes or breaks a bracelet or a necklace. And these are very well made. They're substantial. So I really like these. And look, these are the different designs that you get. And then next, okay, these I will be using on today's show. These are triangle and square shaped spacer beads in antique silver, and you get 200 pieces. So look at that. They're very well made. The designs are really cool. I'm going to be using them for the necklace. I know you guys have seen it, but I'll show it to you again. This one I used the triangle beads, but look how cute that is. Very, very nice. And they're weighty. They've got they're not like lightweight. But I mean, sometimes, you need lightweight beads. Sometimes, you need something with a little more heft, especially for necklaces, just long necklaces. So these are great. And let's see, the stainless steel double spring S clasp. Okay, 2 sizes. The small one will actually fit on the the tip of my finger. They're actually really cute. Let me see if I have a little, let me show them to you. Check this out. See that? Look how cute they are. Let me take one out of the bag so you can see how they're so, it fits right on the tip of my finger. So this size is pretty small, but I think they're really cool. And check that out. If you could just open it on both sides. That is one of the coolest clasps I've ever seen. And this would be great if you have a long, it's thin necklace and you need to make, you just want to make it a little bit shorter. And then the other sizes, it's a lot bigger. So this is the bigger size. This is the smaller size. And let's see. So that is the spring clasps. And let's see next. Ooh, okay. I did it. I decided that I was going to, because I love puzzles, and I decided this was going to be it's kind of like the reverse of a jigsaw puzzle. I don't know, but it was just such a cool challenge. I separated all the different designs out, and look at these. These look like those ceramic beads, and I thought these were cute. Those would make a really cute necklace. And just these, I was thinking maybe something crocheted. So these are very lightweight. They are acrylic, but you do get there isn't a number that you get, but it's a pound. So I think the different the shapes that you get will vary, but there's shells. these floral, these are really cool. Check those out. They're like a rondelle. Those are nice. And then, so I just made a cute little like fun stretch bracelet. And honestly, if you have grandkids and you just want to do a quick and easy like project, I mean, this is perfect. And you just have so much fun, designing something because there's there's so many, so they're like a million different ways that you can like design something with these acrylic beads. Let's see what we have next. Okay, we've got these Z beads. The D is silent. And I thought these could benefit from a little bit of spark. So I thought, you know what, hot pink. So I made this this mala style necklace with the hot pink. And you know what, let me show you like how cool this looks. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It just really just makes them I don't know, like it spices it up a lot. So I think it looks really cool. And then on the end, I put a tassel. But the two beads have a larger hole. So I had to put 4 strings through. Actually, okay, these have 2. And then I quadrupled the ones in the middle because I needed, because otherwise the knot wouldn't go through. And then I added this really cool tassel. But isn't that, I didn't think, I thought for the longest time I've been wanting to try brown with hot pink. And you know what? I really like it. Okay. And then the last product is the Knotty-Do-It-All, which is a cord knotting and design tool that I invented. And I tell you guys, I mean, you could do like anything you want to do with stringy material. This board is fantastic because it helps hold a measure. I mean, it's just got like very useful like things on the face, like the bead and ring size chart. It's got the these wells for bead patterns. It's got the groove, and you get an instructional DVD and an ebook. You also get a password because everything is available online. And the hardware kit that you see on the left, it's so interesting because it can be reconfigured. So if you buy a tool and everything is just like, stuck in one spot, with this, you can actually like move all the hardware around depending on what you're doing. And I teach so many different techniques. And the other size that we have is our travel. I love both of these. Sometimes I use both of them side by side to make like a super ginormous board. And this one also comes with the picture book, the ebook. And like I said, everything is available online. You can download the ebook. It's a PDF, and it's got the anti-skid feet. I mean, it's just like it's like phenomenal. So this is anytime I make, because my area of expertise is working with stringing materials specifically. And I tell you, when I first started, just keeping tension and measuring, that is what made everything so much faster and easier. This is like, I feel like it's part of me, it's my go-to whenever I make anything with like any kind of stringing material. So those are all the products. I think I covered everything. I've got the acrylic beads, the Indonesian inspired, the bales, the thread, the Z beads, and the board. So those are all the products on today's show. So if you see anything you like, put it in your cart because some of these are very limited in quantity. So you don't want to miss out. So anyway, that is everything on today's show. So you saw the fantastic goodies. And don't forget to check your like Brilliant Cash account because on your birthday month, I know I've mentioned this before, but even if your birthday's on, like, let's say, for example, April 14th, your account will be credited on the 1st. And just so you guys know, this is a JTV thing. It's not on my website. It's a JTV because I've had a little bit of confusion about that because I do have my own website, and I do these shows. So these perks are through JTV. Anyway, my favorite part of the show, which is the customer slideshow. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. All right, the first necklace we have is from Laura Lee. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's another picture further down, but I really like the way the button and those little beads dangle down because in another like slide further down in the show, it's like the same version, but it's got like a bolo style look. So I like that it could be worn in the side, the back, or the front. And I noticed that this one, by the way, I love the color of that cord. It's like a, I don't know, is it like a deep red? And there are 2 knots in between each of the beads. You know, I love, 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 love that. Because I just love like 1 knot, 2 knots, 3 knots. So this is really, really pretty. And then next we have this other one by Laura Lee. Okay, this is the gray that's paired with the hot pink. So look at that, very, very nice. Oh, this is the one with that has like that bolo style, like a button in the front with the dangles. So that's a really, really nice touch. And then I just can't stop looking at it. Well, okay, let me go on because I could just like stare at this all day. And oh, Martijn, the Netherlands. Okay, she did some new photography and background things. Look how pretty this looks. She was telling me that her sister painted it on like large paper with, you know, just, I know that blending is the important thing, but she did a really good job. In the bracelet is beautiful. This is not the snake knot. I think this is the hand woven that I taught back in August, like 22nd of last year, and last week, which was a little tough for some guys, but you know, some people got it, some people didn't. But I'm going to be doing another video on that one just to clear things up. But this one came out perfect, looks fantastic, and this is made with faux leather. And then we have another one. Oh, this necklace, I just love it because when I buy beads, I see blue and it's just like my weakness. And this one, look at it's got that green girl hook. And look at the little added dangles on the end. And I think we've got this one like on the bust, but then I have it with a black background so you can really, really see how cool this looks. I love these beads. If I'd seen these beads anywhere to show, I would have like totally bought them. So they're so pretty. And it has 2 knots in between. So it just, I love this necklace so much. Thank you, Laura Lee, for this. Really made my day looking at this. It's just so pretty. And then another one by Laura Lee. Okay, this is a purple version, and it's got the 2 knots in between. And look at that really cute button with the little dangles in front. And I was telling her I could knot all day long. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then here's another picture of this necklace and how nice that little pendant thing is in front. So very, very pretty. And then here's another one in blue. So this has got like a royal blue cord with silver, which I think goes good together. And then a blue button. Boy, you even have Laura Lee even has a blue button. Imagine that. Of course, anyone that would have a blue button, it would be Laura Lee because she has like the coolest like stuff. I don't know where she gets it, but very, very nice. And then Martijn, the Netherlands. Okay, this is it's chain. What I like about it, it's combined with the snake knot, and this is a labradorite pendant. And one thing I like about this is like on the back, if you wanted to take the that snake knot part off, you know, so it's like, I would say like a convertible type necklace, so you can like have, you know, part of it on, part of it off if you choose to remove it, because you could tell that it's connected with 2 clasps on the end. Very, very nice. And then next, okay, this is so cute. Christy Alaska, her son and his little girl, I don't want to say girlfriend, but friend that's a girl, they're going to get together and watch Moana. And here is her Moana-inspired necklace. And I was telling Christy that I did make one, I don't know, a few months back. But you know, like when you're trying to copy something from a cartoon, or an animation, it's kind of hard. So mine, I tried, but this version's so cute. I love it. And I wanted to get like a really close up so you guys could see all the details. It has like the coral, and that shell looks like it just came straight from the beach, not something that you buy at a craft store, because you know how those are like, I don't know, bleached and perfect, that they almost don't look real, but it's got the little pearls. I think the pink stone is maybe tourmaline. Look how cute this is. She's gonna love it. I love it. She's gonna love it. I think it's so cute. And then last we have a snake knot lesson by Martijn in the Netherlands. And you know, one thing I like about this plain, you know, black thick design, it's very masculine. And so if you have you know, the man in your life that you need to make a bracelet for, because, you know, men don't like, you know, like frilly, like cool things. I mean, some do, but most don't. So this would be like perfect. But anyway, those are the things on today's customer show. And if you have anything you'd like to send in, send it to me. My email address is the knotty-do-it-all@gmail.com. Isn't that like a fantastic show? You guys are just so talented. Anyway, today's project. So I really want to get to the really cool tips and tricks because I was just like so excited about them. Okay, so the this necklace, I mean, it can go so many different ways. And okay, originally I had planned on this was the original plan. So I made this one here, and it ended up like too short because I don't know how, but I just managed to not cut enough thread. However, it got me thinking that I'm going to try and make this, despite the fact that I ran out of thread, I'm going to try to make it look like this one. And things will be changed up a little bit, but I think when you see how I do it, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. And then it's just like something that that you can use in case you know, have the same problem. But anyway, this one, oh, and that second time around, and you know, for now, just like, I don't know, I didn't use too much thread, but use like 5 or 6 yards, because that way you'll have that insurance, because I know it's probably more than you actually need, but just to be on the safe side. So I am going to be using the square beads. I'm going to be using these, and I have a couple of tips and tricks for you so it doesn't get crooked, and another one for getting the knots really tight and evenly spaced. Because, okay, here is the reason. Because wax cord, it's not as easy to knot as like silk or, you know, S-Lawn, because it's thicker, it's got wax, and you need to evenly space it. So what'll happen if that knot isn't like tightened as tight as it could possibly go, when you go to space the next knot, if there is just even the slightest variation, and I kid you not, I mean, you have one little knot that's like not spaced correctly, then all the others that follow, it just gets like exponentially worse. It's really, really strange. So I'm going to show you the cool tip that I have for getting the knots really tight. And on these, the cord I think I've done a lesson like that before, where the cord goes this way through 2 beads. And I'll do as many as I can for like maybe like 20 minutes or so, because I don't want to run out of time, because I do want to show you like how I'm going to approach this one, but I want to do this one first. So here I have my stringing material that is, you know, like, I don't know, my 5 or 6 yards. And the other thing that I do, and I know I've mentioned this, you know, sometimes it's got like, let me grab my cord, my cloth here. It's hard to work with because sometimes it's a little bit sticky. I don't think there's any like standard, like, oh, it's going to just have X amount of wax. I think it's just like waxed, and, you know, sometimes it seems like it's got more, sometimes it's less. But one thing that I do is I take a cloth and I just like, see how you could just like wipe some of the wax off. And one thing, I mean, it seems like such a small thing, but one thing that really helps with is when you're actually like working with the cord. Sometimes when cord slips on, like just on itself, it causes a lot more friction, and then it's just a lot more work for you. So I'm gonna that's one thing that I always do when I work with a wax cord. I mean, I would say that these days, 99% of the time, I will do the extra like step and do that, because it just makes it so much easier. Because I mean, as it is, working with wax cord is hard enough. So I have my 4 or 5 yards folded in half. So here you'll have you know, your folded end right there, and then here the 2 loose ends. And now what you need to do is find the middle of that. Okay, so you fold this in half, and now we're going to find the center point, which is right here. And now just make an overhand knot, just right about in the middle. Whoops. Yeah, this is kind of going crazy on me. Okay. Okay, so right in the middle, there's your overhand knot. Okay, and one really cool thing, I know that I had talked to Laura Lee about this a few weeks ago, but sometimes when you're doing a lot of knotting and the knots need to be really tight, I use my finger, like, I do this, but let me tell you, after you do like a few hundred of those, your hands kind of get tired. So one thing I came up with was, I use it's from like a crimping plier, but the deal is you you don't crimp on the cord, you just kind of like get that hole in there, and then you just like pull it, because it just, that way you don't have to be using your nails. So it just helps tighten, and I'm going to be using this throughout the entire knotting process because of the evenly spacing thing. So let me find the end. Okay, here is the end. It doesn't have the bead. Okay, the fold. Okay, and you will need like a thick piece of cardboard. And this, the weird thing is, you cut your cardboard and you're like, oh, that's too close, so you make it bigger. But look at, the spacing is pretty substantial considering how small this is. It's like so before you like do like a test run, because I had to do it a couple of times, because visually what I thought looked like, that on the card, this looks a lot smaller than what the space, I don't know, it's like weird. But, I just use like a thick cardboard. So, and one thing that I do, just in case, because I'm not exactly one to cut things straight, so I'll consistently use this side. So I put like a little blue dot on it. So that's going to come in handy. And so the two things that we will need are, just check on, like, if you have a crimping pliers, I think everyone's got crimping pliers, just close it in that hole. And as long as you can move it and it butts up to the knot, then you're good to go. So let me get my square beads, excuse me. Okay, right there. Oh, and then I've got another tip for you, because when I was making this, one problem that I had was, the knot. After I did that second knot, it was like a little bit crooked. And I think I have the way to just make sure they're straight. Well, at least as close to straight as possible. So I fed the bead in going that way. And if you missed it, I'm going to do a few so you don't miss out. So I'm going to do this nice and snug. Let me just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm looking for, like, is to see how it could be, if it's lopsided and then you make the knot, it's going to be like lopsided. So I look at it and just make sure it's straight, and then I bring these two together and I just hold it, and I just, like, right in here, I just grip it, and then I get like a clip, and then just clip it. Even if it turns a little bit sideways, it's okay, because it's still going to be straight. And one thing, if you're not exactly like, if knotting's not your thing, then the awl is like the way to do this. So what I do, and this is not going to be like my other knotting where I like super knot backwards. This one is going to be the old-fashioned way, where you just make an overhand knot, like right at the top of the clip. You bring this part out, and then what I do is just, as close as possible, and then I take the clip off, and then I tighten the knot. But then I come in with this thing, and then I push it in as much as I can. So that helps get, number one, the knot as tight and as close as it could possibly get to this bead, because when I come in to do this, the knot that's going to be spaced, that's where I use this. And the trick to getting it to work, a couple of things. I hold it, and then see how like it's going like at an angle, and it's going to stop, because I was always like trying to hold it straight and then lay it down. I don't know why, but I noticed I had like variation problems. But if you just like kind of like push it up to the knot, and then you hold it with your fingernail right there. Just keep it straight. And now we got to like trick the cord into thinking that there's a like a bead or a knot there. So then I clip it right here, just as close to my fingers as possible. And then I make another overhand knot. So I'm going to come in here. And for these, you know, you don't want to drag your cord, because it especially with wax cord, it's horrible because it gets stuck and it's hard to untangle, you know, take off. So I just put see how this part is big in my hand? I've got a large overhand knot. What I do is I take the knotting awl and I hold it up to the clip. Just hold this and then I pull, and it's just like miraculously just gets close to the clip. And then I pull both of these cords, take this out, and then I use this super handy thing to tighten the knot. And I tell you guys, this really, really helps. And then I take this off, and then I repeat the steps. So you put your bead on. And another thing I could have done, you know, I could have like had the beads like going this way and knotted, but I really liked the design. So I thought, you know what, this would be like perfect to do it this way. I think the other one that I did, I don't know, I did I don't know, with maybe a necklace or like something, but I don't think it was like had any kind of evenly spacing. So then you come in, you do the next, and it's pretty repetitive. So you come in here, make sure it's nice and straight right there. Bring this together, hold it so it doesn't like get like out of alignment. And then you put a clip at the bottom. And I would say this project is about, I mean, once you get proficient, for, I don't know, like a 34-inch necklace, you're looking at about an hour in a time commitment. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put the knotting awl in. You know, sometimes you don't need the knotting awl. You could use your fingers if you got the knot close enough, because what you're really going to be using is this guy here to like hold it and then pull it like all the way. Oops, is it not focusing? Hang on. Yeah, just to like make sure and get it like all the way. Okay. And then using that same side, just like at an angle, just like I did before, and you hold it right here. And then you clip it, touching my nail, and then you do your next overhand knot. It's actually, this is I really enjoyed doing this project. It was really, really fun. I would have made more, but I was running out of beads. I had to actually like cut up one of my other prototypes. I'm going to tighten that. And if you feel like it's not doing anything, trust me, it is. It's really getting in there. And because I know, you know, I know a lot of you do knotting, and especially like it sometimes, I mean, after you've done like a couple of hundred of these knots, I mean, it really does start to like, you know, hurt your hands. Well, it's like not so much your hands, but your nails, because you use your nails to like push the knot, and you know how it goes. So here's the next one. Just get it nice and in there, hold it, and clip. So you basically just keep doing the same thing. So I'm going to do another one here. Pull this one out. And I mean, at this point, I mean, you could do it either way. You could like, if the knot is, yeah, whatever works for you. Just, you could hold this here, take it out, and then pull these two. Or if you want to use this to like really pull, you could hold it here and then pull this side, pull that side, and then just give it a good, look at that. It's perfect. That's just so much. I could do this all day. So I'm going to come in here, add an angle, hold it, flip it, right there and do the spacing knot. Okay. And man, I don't think I had any troubleshooting tips. I think the only thing that I had trouble with was that I didn't cut enough cord the first time, because I thought for sure like 4 or 5 yards was going to be enough, but for whatever reason it just wasn't. And then I'm going to put this here and slide this down. And you know, try it. You know, you could do like, if you want it like further spaced apart, you can do that. If you want it closer, not a problem. And also, I mean, when you buy these and you get them home, of course the triangle ones, it's gonna of course be a little bit different. These won't be straight because, you know, they are triangles, but you know, as long as you get the knots like just like this, it'll work out. Look how cute that is. And then let me get this side. And it is pretty much, you just keep repeating. And like, you know, I started in the middle. So what I did was I did one side and then I did the other side. And you can make it any length you want. I mean, the one, my target was like, you know, something that would at least like go over my head. So I think I went for like, you know, at least 26 inches or so. And I know that in the past, normally I've said that when I do knotting, I don't like the like 2 cords like on the outside. This is the exception to the rule because it's thick, and because I think that the skinny cord, I mean, that's a personal preference. I just think that the thick cord, I think it's like acceptable. So so I'm just gonna do this knot here. Oh, wait a minute. I see. I want to make sure. I just wanted to make sure it was like straight because, you know, one of the necklaces, one of the beads like came out crooked, and I tell you guys, it really like bugged me. I mean, I think only because, I mean, I think the reason it bugged me is because I know what the fix is, and I feel like if I didn't like use the fix, then I didn't like exactly do it right. So that's just how, you know, my mind thinks. Because, you know, sometimes we're like, oh, we don't need to do it this time, but then you regret it. So you just keep going, just like that. So the let's see, the necklace I have here, pretty repetitive. And then, you know, you could like stretch it, get all the extra slack out, and then it's going to look perfect like that. So let me move over to the one that I ended up coming up too short. So if this happens to you, because, you know, it always happens to us, I'm gonna try to come up with a plan for this. And because I want it to be like this. Okay, so let's say you do all your knotting. So what I'm gonna do here, I put an equal number on each side. So let me see how many I ended up doing. So there's one, oh, hang on, I gotta find the middle first. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15. Okay, so there's 15. I'm going to put 15 on each side, and then in the middle here, I'm going to try it. You guys are going to see if it works. So I'm going to take some wax cord, and let me get this here. And probably about, I don't want to run out, so I'm going to, just in case I change my mind, this is about 40 inches. So what I'm going to do is like right in the middle, the pendant that I'm going to put on, it's going to be a separate piece. Okay, so let's see if I can like work this out. So I need, okay, so I think I'm going to attach it using a moose knot. I'm going to center this. Okay, I'm going to put the moose knot in here, and then I'm going to get it centered. So let me get a moose knot. So a pin and a clip, an inch apart. And see, one advantage, honestly, to having a necklace where the pendant is like a separate piece. If sometime further down the road you decide you want to use that same pendant for something else, then you could just take it off. Okay, so let me get this, and I'm going to make a moose knot. I'm going to do a four wrap moose knot. Hang on, let me see my camera. Yes, is it focusing? You can see that, yes. I'm just gonna, usually when I work with thinner cords, I use the eye of the needle because it just makes it easier. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna come in here and tighten it, make sure it looks nice and straight and pretty. Okay, so now we have to have this one like centered. And it's not hard to do. You just like tighten the moose knot and just kind of, before you really crank it down, just kind of like, that looks good. Let me tighten it. Because we're going to do something else in a second. Okay. Nope. Scoot it down a little bit more. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to, okay. A lot of you know that like a moose knot, if you don't put glue, it's one of these knots that'll slide. So when I add it to a necklace like this, one thing that I do like is I put just a regular overhand knot like right after it, because that way it'll keep it from like slipping or like, you know, just coming off. So I'm going to do this really nice and tight. And then I'm going to clip this in here. I mean, like clean this up a bit. And then right in here, immediately, I'm going to put an overhand knot as close. I don't want it to get like I don't want it to move. So I'm going to get one right here. And then this one, I'm going to really like tighten it. I'm going to use everything at my disposal to tighten it. So right here, just nice and tight. So, okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and like add like 3. Did I do 3? Yeah, let's do 3. So it's basically the same way. But when I do the bail, like the front part, I just change the spacing a little bit so there's not so much space. So let me whoops. So we're going to be doing exactly the same thing. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to tighten this, center. And I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit because I don't want to run out of time. So this is an extremely, extremely versatile technique. I think I just really, really like it a lot. I'm going to come in here, hold this, and just pull this one, and boom, tight. And now, usually when I do the second one on the bail, I just kind of like eyeball it. As long as it's like, you know, it's got a little bit of space in there, that's good for me. But if you want to actually like measure, that one's a little bit, whoa. That one's too close for my liking. You know what, let me see if I could actually, if this is going to help move it down a bit. But, you know, just whatever, you know, your preferences. Because it's real easy for the bail to get really long, really fast. And I usually like to put like 3. I don't know. I think 3 is a good number to like put on. So let's get this one. Tighten. Hold it. Girl, I am going to clip it. I keep thinking, don't clip it. You don't have to. Oh, yeah. Definitely want to clip it because and I think I have the one that came out crooked. I was so bummed out. Like, okay, because I didn't clip it and it came out crooked. I'm going to show you. Did I chop it up? Oh. You know, I don't know what happened to it. You know what? I did cut it off. And, oh, just so you know, another option is you could, like, whoops, these could actually go like this way. So you could either do the front facing or the side facing, but I'm going to do the side facing for this one. Because you know, I did make another one, but that's the one I had to cut up because I needed the beads. Oh, isn't that so sad? Oh, when you don't have enough beads for like the prototype and the main. And see, another thing that this, like, see, there's like that extra loop in there. You don't want that. You see, you want to come in here and pull both of these to get rid of that. And then pull both. It gives you the nicest, tightest knots. So perfect. This looks like a little bit off. Okay, and one more. Okay. If you guys have any questions, like, ask me, because I'll be answering like questions like in the comments. Okay. Let me put this here. And then put the last bead. Okay, one more. This one, that one. And let me talk a little bit about the pendant that you need to put on. I see at this point, I can't remember if I went ahead and did a moose knot or a coil knot on this one. Okay, I think that's what I did, because I need to attach the this pendant. And the first one that I made, the pendant was lightweight and it didn't hang right. So you need something like that weighs a few ounces. Like for this one, I have this crystal. This one was heavy. The other one I used was very lightweight, and it just, I don't know why. Has that ever happened to you where you make a necklace and then the pendant doesn't like hang right? So this one's kind of beefy. And I'm wondering, you know what? I'm just going to experiment. Let's do it, because let's see. Because if I make a knot here, then it's going to, you know what? What should I do? Let me think. Should I do you know what? I'm going to do the knot and then the other knot. The coil knot, because I don't want to take any chances in case something goes wrong. Let me clip this. You know, that's one nice thing, I kid you not, about like combining techniques or just learning all these different things, because at least you have options. It's not like, you know, you get your beads, you get your cord, and you don't have any idea what to do. That's the sad part. You don't know how to do it, what to do. But when you have a lot of options and you get to like actually get to think about, oh, should I do this or that? Or that's what makes it fun. And honestly, you know, before, you know, when I had beads, I'm like, ooh, I didn't know what to do with them. I would like make stuff and then just like tie it on my body and just wait till it fell off. And it was just like, they were just like on there. It was terrible. But now it takes me forever because I can't decide, should I braid them? Should I knot them, macrame them? And even when, you know, I finish like a project, I'm still thinking about it like hours later. I'm like, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? So it's just like crazy. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to add this. And you know what? I think this, I can benefit from my, that cork block that I have somewhere. Where is it? Hang on. Let me see if I can see it. Is it? Hang on, guys. Ah, there it is. I have a tutorial on my website on like, so what I did was I just got like one of these big Jenga blocks, and I, this cork that you can like buy online. You just stick it on there, and it's very, very handy. Let's see if it helps in today's like thing that I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I have decided this is going to be a fold over, and instead of like, because I use the macrame binding knot a lot, but this time I'm going to use a coil knot. And let's trim this because we don't need it to be that long. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited about this necklace. Okay. So on here, you could have a space because after I put the coil knot, I'm going to tighten it, and then I'm going to death grip the coil knot. I kid you not. I'm going to like really crank it down. So I'm going to put this here just to hold this because this is a heavy pendant. And why is it? I don't know. I think this block is bigger than my usual. So I'm just going to clip this right in here. And whoops. Let me clip that one. Because right now, all you need right at this point, whoops, is just the space right here, just enough to get your coil knot. If this thing like moves around like it's doing now, let's see, you could just like maybe, like, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to stick a pin here. Stick one right here, and then one right there. I mean, or just like if you have anything that just something just to keep it like elevated so that, you know, when you're working. I mean, I've used everything. I've used like yoga blocks, but this for me just like worked the best. I think I'm gonna get just a pin just to like hold it, just because I need the space right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of this wax jewelry cord, maybe about 16 inches or so. And then, whoops, don't leave me. I'm going to come in here. Let me clean up a bit. I'm going to come in here and make a coil knot. 2. And I'm going to do a 5, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Right there. Then I'm going to hold this. I'm going to pull this out. Very gentle because I don't want to dislodge my pendant. And this side is going to go in one way. I'm just doing it real careful. Whoops. You guys cannot see what I'm doing, but I just fed it like in one way, just right there. And then gently, this one goes this way, and this one goes the other way. Okay, right there. All right. So when you tighten it, because it's got like 5 in there, sometimes if you tighten it too fast, it kind of gets kind of weird. So what I do is I just kind of twist it in my fingers real gently. See how it just kind of elongated? So then you want to like come in here and tighten and then squeeze it and twist it and then tighten some more. Okay, at this point, you don't want it overly tight because the next thing is and mark this because just put a knot in it because you don't want to accidentally cut off or melt off the wrong cord. So let's put that here. And now I'm going to pull one way or the other. We're going to do this. Okay, hang on, let me move this out of the way. Let me see if I can find out what the logic is. Because sometimes I have trouble and I'm like, which one do I pull? Okay. Okay, so I think if I brought this up here, let's try that. And then you bring the knot all the way to the top here, and then you pull. Oh, there we go. And then how do you get it close? Okay, let me try something. So I'm gonna, because that's always the tricky part, is like holding the cord so it does what you want. Okay, so this one is part. This is the moose knot. That's the moose knot. And then, okay, perfect. So just pull it all the way. And then once that's done, this is really important. You're going to come in and crank this really, really down. Okay, so we're going to go like super tight. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers and tighten. Now I'm going to wait a second and then I'm going to do it again because this one you want it to be really, really tight. Okay, perfect. Now, more than ever, your melt spots are going to be really important because those, because this knot is so tight, the melt spots, once you make them, those are what's going to like hold everything together. Let me see if I can get in closer. So I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing here. And if you use I wouldn't use a lighter at this point. Okay, perfect. So as long as you have that like that little bump right in there and it's nice and melted and this is nice and tight, this is not going to slip off. Now we got to come in and do the same thing with these 3 on this side. That's one thing I really like about synthetics is how they could be melted. Okay, so perfect. Right there. And the let me see if I could tell you what I'm thinking when I do this. I try to keep the tip as far away, just enough to get the job done. Let me just. I think that's perfect. And then if you work in a closed space like I do, oof. So, one thing, have a fan blowing because I didn't have my fan. You don't want that stuff blowing in your face because and they sell like lots of like little fans you can use. I use a USB. I usually have it running, but I don't know why I didn't today. But so there is. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, I cannot wait to see how this looks. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. So now this part, what I can do is I am going to add this ring. And sometimes if the strings are long enough, I'll fold it like over the end and then I'll use those same strings to do the macrame with, but I ran out of cords. So what I'm going to do here, and I know it's called a tailor's truck or something like that. Guys, this thing is the bomb. I don't even know. I didn't even buy it. It just like showed up one day. It probably came in a kit that I bought like 50 years ago, and I just didn't know what it was. But in previous shows, I was like showing also. Now I feel embarrassed. Like I'm like, use face powder on an old credit card with wax. I'm like, nix that because this thing is like the bomb. Check it out. It's like, oh, I love it, love it, love it. So this really helps like okay, so I need like to get that ring like even on both sides. So it doesn't even matter what distance you pick. So let me see, let me see on this one, let's check it out. Because I'm going to pick the same distance because it was perfect enough to get like 3 beads like on the outer macrame part. So it looks like it's about like at 1 inch or so. I know I used my board. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just go for, I just want something that I know is going to be consistent. So let me move this aside. Let's see if I come up. And it really, like, as long as it's consistent. Because you see how I stop like this thing, the knot stops like right at the edge there. So you want like stopper things because just trying to hold it on there and then trying to like find the right spot, it doesn't work. I mean, it's too much stress on your eyes, and that's like when you always need like some kind of like stopper. So that's perfect. Let me see if this is going to do it for me. And maybe no. Maybe I'll go with for that 8 because it's a little bit shorter. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to use my chalk, and I'm going to make a mark. Ooh, this is fantastic. I love this stuff. Oh, you know what? I had an even better idea. What I did was I did them both at the same time. Uh-oh. Okay, so just do them both at the same time. So put both of the knots right there, like, and just make sure that you can't move them anymore. Then, you know what I'm saying? That because they're just, you can't, they're kind of like, it's like they're butted up to the edge right there. And then with this chalk, I'm going to mark it just like that. Look at that. Oh, it's perfect. I wish I'd found this stuff years ago because I really struggled trying to get those like especially when I added a ring, like even on both sides. But that is the trick. So you just, and you can use any size ring. I mean, at this point, even if I used a small ring, it will still go over my head. But I'm just going to use this big ring just for a dramatic effect. So right there, I'm going to put the fold right on the chalk mark. And I'm going to put this here to hold it, and I'm going to put a clip right away just to hold that, just to make sure it doesn't come off. Now I'm going to take about 16 inches of the wax cord. That's usually like how much I need, like for any like macrame, like just a small piece. 16 inches always does the job. And I'm going to string six beads on. So there's 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. All right. I got that. And these are like, I don't know, they're like 4 millimeter, like silver beads with like, I don't know, like about a 1 millimeter hole. And I know that they're about a 1 millimeter because this cord, it's almost 1 millimeter. It's like a 0.9. So since it fits the bead, I know that the bead is a little bit bigger. Okay, so when I do that, I have my cord. I've evened the beads out on 2 sides. And now I'm going to come in and turn around and clip this in here. And I clip that. Oh, I love doing this. I just love it because I know it's going to work. Oh, and you know what? When you're designing jewelry and you know that something you do is going to work, it just makes it fun. Oh, so I'm going to start the macrame by just doing this like overhand. So that I call it a top. Tighten it really, really tight. So I'm going to do it. Top. Let's straighten this out. Let's get these cords. Top. And as soon as you get that top knot on there, you can take that clip out. Bottom. I do a top, a bottom, and then I slide 1 bead down. Let's get this one and that one. And I love, and I know Christy loves macrame beads on the outside of stuff. I mean, how can you not love it? It just looks so cool. So there's a top and a bottom. Okay. And then I always slide my beads down when I do, right before I have to do a top. And the reason is because it's easier, because when you have to do it from the bottom, because sometimes gravity, let's get this, is it focus? Whoop, 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 right here. Sometimes like if you have a lot to do, you just go like this and see how they just go down. You're like, oh, I got a lot to do. Boom. They're just there. So I'm going to do a top and a bottom. And if you guys have like any ideas for projects that you'd like to see, send them to me and I will like see what I can do, because I know I do get some ideas from your questions, and that really helps, because that way, I know like what people want to see. So there's top, bottom. Okay. And then what I do is I do these really, really tight. And then I just do for top, bottom, top, bottom. And there we go. And then the same like basic concept, like when I used those melt points for the pendant, those are what's also going to hold the end together. Doing it really tight and then making just very like calculated like, and you want to, I don't know, because I'm trying to teach a friend of mine to make jewelry, and she hasn't like grasped yet like when to like leave it big, when to like tap it all the way down, and when to like tap it like halfway down. And I think for this, you want to do like a halfway. And I know it's when you're first learning, it's like really like you got to do it a few times to like get it. So this one, it's going to be like a half. Let me tap that down. That one's done, and now I'm going to do these last two. Let's do this one, and then I'll do the other one. And I'm going to do it really carefully. So let's see. Why won't it focus? Okay, I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Tap, tap, and then this side. Just a little bit. Okay. So there we have this. And so what you do is do exactly the same thing on the other side, because I see that I've gone over in time a little bit. So you would do the same thing on this side, and you end up with this. Oh my God, it's so pretty. This one's going to be really cool when I finish it, because since it's extra long, that means I could double it. I mean, I know it'll go over my head twice, but I just want to like show you real quick, like another thing that you can do if you decide to take this approach. And so you'll have your necklace here, and then you can put like little dangles on here. I mean, there's so many variations of this necklace. So this one I just like added the pendant, and it's a separate piece. That's what's so cool, because let's say, a couple of years from now, you're like, nah, I want to change it up. It's easy to do. Or it's just like, I love it. It's just, wow, wow, wow. I love it. I can't wait to like finish it so I can wear it. Maybe I'll wear it on next week's show. So the wax cord, this is what I used, is the wax jewelry cord that's on today's show, and it comes in a set of 2. And let's see what else. These beads are awesome because they're heavy. They've got weight and heft to them. And on the acrylic beads, like let me grab these real quick. If you have like kids, but not like really young kids, because I was the type of kid that would be like, oh, this looks really cool, and then like stick it up my nose, because that's what the kind of that's what kids do. But you could have a lot of fun with these. You could have them organize them, like make like cool little, like quick and easy, like stretch bracelets. Really fun. And let's see, I think I like covered like all the like different products that are on today's show. Oh, the Z beads. Don't forget the Z beads. I made this like I have it on because I just thought, today is going to be brown and hot pink. Anyway, that is today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember this stuff, the chalk, this little card to evenly space. And let's see, anything else. Oh yeah, really important when you do those melt spots, just make sure and don't like make them too small. You want to make those your coil knot tight, and then come in and like melt them down. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me on today's show, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.